Welcome back. Today I want to talk about my ZvT build. I've been really working on this since my last ladder session, as ZvT has been consistently my worst matchup. So I'm trying to take a build that I've seen from Cyril, a German Zerg, that I saw him do in the most recent tournament. And I'm going to try to emulate it. I practiced it a little bit today, and I'm going to walk you through my current build order. Hopefully you can use this on the ladder. So what we're starting off with is a 17 gas hatch pool. I'm going to send my first Overlord Jet out to scout the third to see if there's any proxies, and then he's going straight to the enemy second base to see if they're doing an all-in. Second Overlord at 13 is going to come out. That's Morris. Morris is going to check the beginning, check to see if the Reaper's coming in, and then he's going to go towards the third. I'm going to set my camera locations, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then at 17 supply, I'm going to take my second hatchery. So it's on my camera right now. I'm moving around a little bit. Let me take it off of that. So I've got one of my cocoons out, so right at 17 supply. I rally him out at 16, but he at 17, I'll get that right at 300 minerals. Then we are going to take two more drones. We're going to rally one of them out to the gas, rally the other one out for the pool, and then we're going to wait here at 18. Take a gas, take a pool. Boom. All right. Then at 19, we're going to rally out our next 3 drones into gas. And we're going to drone up to 19. So I made a little mistake here. Now Morris should be going out to the third. He's here to scout if there's any kind of weird bunker going down or anything like that. But now at 19, we're going to make an Overlord. This is Chloe. Chloe's going to go towards the main attack ramp here to see if there's any Hellbats or Hellions or general nasties coming up. So I'm moving Morris now. I realized that he was a mistake. But Jet's on his way over to the third base. At 20, we're going to rally out our third drone towards the third base location. She's going to come on out here. And then as soon as the pool is finished, we're going to make 2 queens, 4 lings, and at 27 supply, we're going to take gas. We're going to take off of gas, and we're going to get Zergling speed. We're going to make 1 more drone to 28, and then we're going to hold here. I'm going to hide my drone over in the corner until 28, until I have 300 supply. And now this is when I'm going to talk about the Reaper should be coming in about this time. So I would have been able to see it coming in with Jet up here. Then if Morris was doing the right thing, he was kind of stopped what he was doing over here. If Morris was on his right way, he would have seen the Reaper come up into here, and then Chloe's going to be able to check out to make sure everything is peachy clean. The Zerglings, right now, because I'm starting to drone up this line here, I keep my Zerglings in the neutral position right about this spot. Anywhere between, it really depends. I should be keeping them a little bit closer to this ramp up here if the Reaper tries to hop up into this spot, but this is my kind of neutral position. I keep them on the edge of creep and wait for my queens to come out. A little mistake, I should have rallied all of my drones over to my new base at this point, so a little bit of a mistake. But now, at 28 supply, I'm getting close to 300. I'm going to take my drone, move it towards the third base, take it at 300. Now, queens pop. I'm going to immediately make 1 more queen. I'm going to inject instantly. I'm waiting up to 150 minerals, make a queen, and now we're back onto droning. We're going to drone to 31. At 31, we're going to make Boomer, the 4th Overlord. There's Boomer. Boomer's coming out, and Boomer is going to get rallied towards the first drop spot into the main. And we're going to drone up to 34, and then we're going to get 1 more Overlord. This is Gemini. And Gemini is going to be rallied out towards the third over into here to see if there's any Liberators coming past the third. And at this point, you should be moving the Overlord over here up a little bit more. So I've got my second, let's talk about here. When you're next queen pops, what you should be doing is instantly inject your first hatch, inject your second hatch, and you should skip, inject your first hatch, skip this second hatchery, and we're going to lay a creep tumor right at the beginning. So your one of your first two queens, this is your very first queen, this is your second queen. That pops. My second queen always lays the tumor. I pull my first queen down towards the main ramp, and then I inject with the newly hatched queen that just comes out. That's my first. So you should have your first creep tumor down about 325. And your creep goal for me on this map is I'm going to first creep towards my third to connect it, and then I really want to get creep out to here and really control this part of the ramp right here. If I can control above this area, I have very good map control if he's going tanks or things like that. He can't siege up into any of my bases. So my main path is going to be, my main creep path is I have one that goes around here to his third, and then I'm going to cook one up into here to his natural. Those are my two creep paths, but my creep objective is to creep out to here. So now, at 3 minutes, you should have put back into gas. So this is a little bit of a mistake on my points. I kind of just, when I can't spend my gas quickly enough, so I just have it kind of rallied in after my second queen comes out. So I should be picking that up very soon. And now it's Drone City. Also, right here, you should be scouting in with Jet. He's not scouting because I'm going against Easy Computer, but this would tell me if he's going all in or not. And you're gonna make a couple more drones, a couple more lings right at about 40 supply to take out any Hellions and things coming into your base. And now my objective is I am going to max out on Ultralisk, Ling, Bane is my target right now. So continuing. 4 minutes, you should be scouting in to see what tech he's doing. So what's the tech choice at 4 minutes? And then 4:15, just about 4:15, you should be taking your tech. What's your tech? Is it going to be a roach, or is it going to be a Bane nest? So coming up, right at your second queen, right at your inject, you should be taking your Baneling nest. So now I've got 2 queens out. I constantly am making a new queen to creep. So every time a queen ends, I should be making another queen during this match. Next is at 4:30, you're going to start your Lair. So a little bit late on this. 4:30, 7 seconds late. And you'll see that kind of messes with my timing a little bit later. But I'm still creeping out. Let's talk about positioning now. At this point, I've got queens in each base. I should be moving one of these queens down. I'm getting my creep out. So the most vulnerable spot right now, I've got queens here, and I'm going to connect these through with creep if I was better. So if Hellions and things come in, I want to be able to catch them. So I've got my overlords kind of scouting to see where they could be, if any drops are coming in. And this is kind of my neutral position. My next step here is at 5 minutes. I'm going to drop some evo chambers, and I'm going to open up some more gas. There should be about 50 workers here as soon as the Baneling nest finishes up. Yep, 54, 55, very good. So we got 2 Baneling nests, or 2 Baneling nests, 2 evolution chambers, and now I should be taking a little bit more gas. Next, which gas did I take? There we go. Taking 1 gas, 2 gases, 3 gases, and I'll have 4 gases. And now I'm going to I'm going to try to hit 66 drones as soon as I can while I'm defending. And as soon as my Lair finishes, here's the next big position. At the Lair, you're going to get Baneling speed. I'm going to get Baneling speed now. So I'm kind of droning out a little bit. So you get Baneling speed, get +1 attack, get +1 carapace, and then you get a Hydra Den at 6 minutes. So I'm trying to get as much gas as I can. So the gas has opened up a little bit late on this, but I'm spending my gas as much as I can. So there's 150 gas. I'm going to be getting, I get a Hydralisk Den first, right at 6 minutes, 30 seconds, and then 150 gas goes into wriggling speed. Meanwhile, you're just making lings and banes and queens and overlords and drones, and you're trying to get up to 66 workers. So slowly open up gases as soon as you can. And then at 6 minutes also, I forgot one more important spot. At 6 minutes, right as you drop your Hydralisk Den, you're going to take a hatchery, and you should also start a macro hatchery. I forgot to. That would have been this. That's why I'm floating so many minerals right now, is I didn't take my macro hatch. And I'm still trying to creep out. I just don't have the APM at this point. My overlord's all over the place. Now, 6:30, as soon as your Hydralisk Den is finished, you're going to start with grooved spines. And we're going to make about, if you can, make about, you know, I make a handful of Hydras right now just to get some anti-air of what's going on. And then at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, you're going to drop your Infestation Pit. So you can drop almost all of your money into Hydras, all your gas into Hydras, all your, or Banes, obviously. And then all of your minerals into drones. So I'm at 61. I'm a little bit shy. I'm a little bit shy of the drones I want, but that's not a big issue. I'm just kind of moving around, posturing my army, staying as safe as I can. So right about 7:30, yeah, there it goes. 7:30 is Infestation Pit. Now, if you watch how this times out, right at about 8 minutes, I'm going to have Baneling speed. I'm going to have +1 attack. I'm going to have +1 armor, and I'm going to have a Hydralisk Den with ranged upgrades. So right at 8 minutes, let's see where we are. 51, 2, 3, 4, and I'm moving my army. 6, 7, 8, and okay. Let's see where we are. I'll wait for this evolution chamber. So again, the gas was a little bit late, which is why I kind of pushed this out a little bit. So my timing is how many more seconds? It's about 15 seconds late. This is why I'm diamond. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at what we have. Let's look at our army right now. We've got 55 lings. We've got 60 workers. We've got 6 Hydralisks, and I made some Banelings. And I've got 8 queens, but I've got 5 as my creep queens. My creep should be way out here. I'm getting close, but I'm just, I don't have the APM to do everything yet. And I forgot, again, my macro hatchery. So at this point, I want to be pushing into their third base with this army to try to make sure that they can't take that third very easily. Also, things that I'm not doing during this replay is I'm not doing any harassment at all. I'm not doing any scouting because one is it's a very easy computer, and I know that he's not going to do it, and I'm really focusing on the timings of my build order. So this is the first push of my build order. This is it. So I've got at 8 minutes, should be 8 minutes, I'll have Baneling speed, I'll have +1 attack, +1 armor, and then Hydralisk range, and then I push out towards their third. As I push out towards their third, you're going to take +2, you're going to take +2, you're going to get the Hydra speed, and then you're going to start your Lair. And you're going to slowly drone up to 80 workers at this point. So I'm already starting to get some drones back in. If you look at my production, I think I've got, 8 drones back in. I want to get up to 80 workers now so I can take 2 more gas, and I can start making ultras at this point. But I've got a 6th base down. I didn't make the macro hatch, but I do have the 1, 2, 3, 4, my 5th base down, ready to go. So the rule is, as soon as you start droning one base, you should be taking another base for Zerg. So let's keep going. So I've got, there it is. So I started my hive, started my muscular augments. I've started +2, and now I'm going to start +2 here any moment. Any minute. Any minute. There it is. And now, as soon as the hive finishes, I will tell you the next steps. But until this point, this is when you should really be making army as much as you can. So I'm making a lot of drones right now. I'm putting an anchor down because I'm planning on being across the map at this time. And you should always have some sort of an anchor on your most recent base that you're trying to drone up. So spore crawler for any of that. Again, I should still be making queens every once in a while. I'm getting up at this point. I've got, 9 queens, so I don't really make much more than that. But always inject. Keep your injects up as much as possible. And yeah, at this point you should be doing run-bys as much as possible, keeping the map control. But I'm about to finish up my hive, so at the hive, let's talk about what's next. At the hive, we immediately drop an Ultralisk Cavern. Where are you? Where is my Ultralisk Cavern? Immediately drop an Ultra Cavern. So there we go. 9:30 is a pretty reasonable time. I could probably get this out at 9 minutes if my build was cleaner. And then, what we're going to do is we're going to start Adrenal Glands. And we should be up, yep, 80 workers. So this is it now. It's kind of just, at this point, it's just holding on until we get Ultras. I want to max out on Ultras as soon as I can, and then I move across. So I'm not going to try to take any massive engagements at this time. I'm just really focusing on defense mode and creep spread. So I'm really spending all of my cash into units and Hydras and getting some upgrades and things like that. So yeah, I'm still on a pretty low amount of Hydras. So one thing about this build is Hydras, you have to consider a stepping stone into Ultras. Don't think of your end composition as Hydralisk. If you're on Ling, Bane, Hydra, you shouldn't be thinking about ending this game at this point. Unless you're trying to max out on Ling, Bane, Hydra. If that's the case, you don't need 80 workers. You could probably do that on 70 or 66 to 70 workers is fine. But you just have to have good injects and maybe get some missile attacks. I want Ultras, so I'm getting up to 80 workers and trying to keep my map control as much as possible. So as soon as Ultras is done, this is when I start my big upgrades. It should time out with +2/+2 if I was a little bit sharper with it. But I get Chitinous Plating. I get Adrenal Glands. I'll get +3 armor, or +3 attack very soon. And I'm making Ultras. I'm making Ultras at this point. And I'm maxing out. Let's see when I actually max out. Come on. Make a drone or something. Make a drone or something. A Ling. Well, I could have maxed out by 9:30 or 10:30, but yeah. There it is. Okay, so 11 minutes I maxed out finally. And you should be at this point, as soon as your Ultras hatch, it's time to really start pushing across that map. I would wait for this upgrade to finish until you do, but get into the posturing position. You should be ready to posture into their base. So as soon as the upgrades finish, you will be in their base. So I've got Chitinous Plating, I've got Adrenal Glands, and then I should be getting +3/+3 at this point too. But I'm moving in. I want to, this is an easy computer. I'm going to do it, but let's see. +3/+3. Going to start before it ends. I've got the money. Oh, this is a mistake. You should be getting +3/+3 much earlier. As soon as you max out. There it is. Okay. So this is... Alright, there it is. So I just finished it. Let me rewind back just a second so you can see this last quartet. This is something that if you ever get this kind of production, where you're getting Chitinous Plating, Adrenal Glands, +3/+3 for your Zerglings, this is very hard for Terrans to come back from. So my army composition is just Lings, Banelings. 15 Hydras is my magic number. I always make about this many to just try to keep anti-air and things down. And then I get as many Ultras as I can to max out on. And I'll keep making more Ultras after I trade with my Ling Bane. I want to have... the Ling is important to surround, and then the Ultras come in to do all the damage with the Hydra. At this point also... Oh, I'm so glad I did this. Okay, so at this point, what you should be doing for late game is taking a Spire. And... you should be taking the Spire to think about Broodlords, because this is the next step. When they start trying to take out your Ultralisks, what they're going to do as a Terran is they'll probably start making a lot of Liberators. Corruptors are very good against Liberators, so you should start shredding out your Hydras for Corruptors. And then once you have a good Corruptor count, you should start morphing them into about 5 Broodlords. So you should your end composition should be Ultra Broodlord, maybe Infestor for some of the Terrans and things like that. But this is my build that I've been doing to max out by about 10:30 with Ultra, Ling Bane, and a couple Hydralisks. So I hope you learned something. This is a pretty strong build. I'm going to keep practicing it. I've made a couple mistakes here with my opener, and trying to get it as clean as I can for the ladder this week. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you next time.